Don't know why. When I look at you, all I see is lines. Mr. M says that this is important to understand what latitude and longitude is. Latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude and longitude. Latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes, latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes. I see you line up the world and my map. The lines of latitude will measure north and south. Don't forget longitude, it measures east and west. And you don't know, whoa, whoa, you don't know they are useful. Latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude and longitude. Latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes, latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes. Now on the map, at the top, these numbers will measure east and west. Now on the sides is something else. These numbers will measure north and south. Latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude, longitude, latitude and longitude. Latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes, latitudes, longitudes, latitudes and longitudes.
Chapter number 2. Parallels and Meridians. A globe is a small model of the Earth. When we look at the globe, we see several countries and places marked on it. To find any place on a globe or a map, we use a system of imaginary lines which run from east to west and north to south on them. These imaginary lines are known as latitudes and longitudes. The point on the north where the longitudes join is called the North Pole, and the point on the south where they joined is called the South Pole. Parallels of latitudes. Look at the globe. Can you see the lines that run in the east-west direction? The full circles that run from east to west are called parallels, or lines of latitude. An imaginary line drawn midway between the North Pole and the South Pole divides the Earth into two equal parts. This line is the longest line of latitude and is known as the equator. The part of the Earth from the equator to the North Pole is called the Northern Hemisphere, and the other half from the equator to the South Pole is called the Southern Hemisphere. Facts about parallels. There are 181 parallels or lines of latitude. The equator is the most important of all and is also called the Great Circle. All parallels are full circles except the North Pole and the South Pole, which look like points. The length of the parallels keeps decreasing as we move away from the equator and go towards the poles. All parallels are at an equal distance from each other. Like parallel lines, these parallels or lines of latitudes also do not meet each other. Numbers of latitudes. Lines of latitudes are labelled in degrees, written as 0 degree. The equator is at 0 degree and the other parallels are marked from 0 degree to 90 degree. The parallels are also marked as N or S according to their location apart from their value. The North Pole is written as 90 degree N. The South Pole is written as 90 degree S. There are 90 parallels in the Northern Hemisphere and 90 parallels in the Southern Hemisphere. The parallels are drawn at an interval of 1 degree. Important parallels. You already know about the equator, 0 degree, North Pole, 90 degree N, and the South Pole, 90 degree S. There are 4 other important parallels. They are called Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree N, Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree South, Arctic Circle, 66.5 degree North, Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degree South. Meridians of longitude. Do you see another set of lines which run from the north to south on the globe? Yes, these lines are known as meridians or lines of longitude. Meridians are imaginary lines that run from north to south. Facts about meridians or lines of longitude. All meridians are of the same length. Meridians help to measure distance in the east-west direction. Meridians cut the parallels at right angles, that is 90 degree. The longitudes do not run parallel to each other but meet at the two ends. The maximum distance between any two meridians is at the equator. As one moves away from the equator and goes towards the poles, the distance between any two meridians decreases. Numbers of meridian. The prime meridian passes through Greenwich. It is also known as the Greenwich meridian. It is the starting point for numbering the meridians. It is marked as 0 degree. The longitude of a place is measured east or west of the prime meridian. It divides the earth into two halves, the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. A full circle is made up of 360 degree. Meridians are drawn at an interval of 1 degree. There are 180 meridians towards the east of the prime meridian and 180 meridians towards the west of the prime meridian. This makes a total of 360 meridians. The meridians in the east are marked as E and those towards the west are marked as W. The meridians of 180 degree east and 180 degree west form the same line known as the International Date Line.